That was one thing I was actually talking about work the other day is to people that doing this podcast, I've actually started to learn a lot of stuff that I didn't know before. A lot of new stories that I've never heard. And then obviously just us digging into stuff for the book.
Hey everybody, welcome into Folklore and Flourish. What?
Everybody, welcome into Folklore and Flourish.
Why are you sounding like that?
Just talking.
Hey everybody, welcome into Folklore and Flourish. You're here with Jane and Mark's being a buster today over at Blue Box 29. Today is the final day of February 28th. We are ending our month-long Sacred Bonds, our beloved in the binder. Today we are concluding not only February, but our week 4, Love Beyond Life. We will not see winter again until December of 2026, and we all know how fast the years go, so
Yeah.
we're already done with our second month. Going into spring, though, with the Earth reawakening, we are kicking that off with just enjoying our Sunday, tomorrow in the springtime and whole new life entering in. So today, though, is February 28th. Today is the blessing. So the different blessings that we look for with our love. Our theme is love sanctified. So our 4 stories are going to come from Christian, Shinto, Yoruba, and Norse folklore. So here are your 4 stories, and we'll see you after this. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to honor the cultures behind the stories we are about to explore. The tales shared here come from many peoples, lands, and traditions. I do not change these stories to fit modern expectations or to align with today's social standards. Instead, I present them as they were told, sometimes beautiful, sometimes harsh, sometimes challenging. We are not here to judge the past, but to understand it, to listen, to learn, and to honor the ancestors who carried these stories forward. We also share stories from various religious traditions. These are presented in their historical and spiritual context, with respect for their beliefs that they represent. Every culture deserves respect, context, and acknowledgement, and this space is dedicated to doing exactly that. Story 1. Benedictions and Sacred Union. In Christian tradition, love becomes more than affection when it is spoken over. It becomes blessing. From early house churches in Rome to cathedrals rising across Europe, marriage has been framed not simply as contract, but as covenant before God. The priest does not create the bond, the couple does. Yet the benediction marks it as sacred. The word benediction comes from the Latin benedicere, to speak well, to speak goodness over someone. To bless is to invoke divine favor, to set apart, to declare that what stands before you belongs not only to human will, but to holy intention. In early Christian communities, marriage ceremonies were simple. A couple would stand before clergy and witnesses. Vows were spoken. Hands were joined. A prayer was offered. Over time, ritual deepened. Scripture was read. Rings exchanged. The congregation became witness. The blessing sealed the vow. What makes Christian benediction powerful is its belief that love is not self-sustaining alone. It requires grace. It requires guidance. It is not merely emotion. It is participation in divine design. The priest lifts his hands. He speaks words ancient and repeated across centuries. May the Lord bless you and keep you. These words echo the Aaronic blessing from Hebrew scripture. They've crossed languages and borders, spoken at weddings, whispered at bedsides, declared at funerals. Love is sanctified by invocation. In Christian theology, marriage is sometimes described as sacrament, a visible sign of invisible grace. Two people promise fidelity, but beneath that promise is another belief that God witnesses, sustains, and strengthens the bond. When hardship comes, couples return not only to memory of their wedding day, but to the blessing spoken over them. It becomes anchor. Christian blessing also extends beyond marriage. Parents bless children, pastors bless congregations, believers bless one another. To bless is to recognize sacred worth. In many cultures shaped by Christianity, newlyweds kneel together for prayer. Their hands are wrapped in stole or ribbon. The minister invokes protection, endurance, unity. The ritual does not eliminate suffering, but it frames love as holy work. And when death separates spouses, funeral liturgy often recalls the blessing once spoken at their wedding. The covenant is believed to transcend earthly life, even as earthly partnership ends. In Christian understanding, love originates in God, who is described as love itself. To love faithfully is therefore participation in something eternal. Blessing marks that participation. It declares that what is human can be lifted toward divine purpose. Through centuries of change, reformation, war, migration, the words of blessing have endured. Couples still bow their heads. Hands are still laid gently. Benedictions still fall like quiet fire. In this tradition, love becomes holy when it is named, honored, and entrusted to something greater than the self. The blessing does not create love. It consecrates it. Story 2. Ancestor Prayers and Sacred Remembrance. In Shinto tradition, love becomes holy when it is remembered with reverence, not in abstraction, not in nostalgia, but in daily ritual. Within many Japanese homes stands a kamidana, a household shrine. It may be simple, small wooden shelves holding offerings of rice, salt, and water. It may also include ancestral tablets or photographs, placed carefully and tended with quiet attention. In Shinto belief, kami are sacred presences that dwell in nature, lineage, and memory. Ancestors are not erased by death. They become protectors, woven into the spiritual fabric of the family. Morning prayers are offered. Hands are clapped gently. Names are spoken. This is not mourning alone. It is blessing through continuity. During Oben, families return to ancestral homes. Lanterns are lit to guide spirits back. Graves are cleaned. Offerings are placed. Dances are performed in communal remembrance. The living do not simply recall the dead, they welcome them. Ancestor prayers sanctified bond. Marriage in this tradition does not exist apart from lineage. When couples wed in Shinto ceremonies, they often bow before ancestral shrines, acknowledging that their union stands within generations that came before. Love is not isolated, it is inherited. When a parent dies, the relationship does not end, it changes form. Children continue to speak to them. Food is offered. The ancestors' presence remains active in blessing milestones, births, graduations, weddings. This ongoing dialogue elevates love into sacred rhythm. What makes Shinto ancestors' practice powerful is its quiet steadiness. There is no dramatic return like the ghost wife, no wandering spirits in sorrow. The ancestors are settled, honored, integrated. They are part of daily life. Blessing flows both directions. The living ask for guidance. The ancestors receive gratitude. The shrine becomes bridge. To neglect ancestor remembrance risks imbalance, not because of punishment, but because forgetting severs continuity. In this tradition, holiness is not distant. It is near. It sits at eye level in the home. Love becomes sanctified through repetition, through bowing, through offering, through acknowledging that those who shaped you still stand within your story. When a couple lights incense together at a kamidana, they are not only honoring the past, they are asking the ancestors to witness their present love. The blessing is communal, intergenerational. In Shinto tradition, love is holy because it is rooted in reverence for those who came before. It is not temporary flame, it is lineage remembered. Story 3. Blessing, Prayer, and Sacred Speech. In Yoruba tradition, love becomes holy when it is spoken into protection. Words carry power. They do not drift into air unnoticed. They shape reality. Among the Yoruba people of West Africa, spoken blessing, adura, prayer, And ibukun, blessing, is not symbolic alone. It is active force. To bless someone is to release spiritual authority on their behalf. Marriage ceremonies often include invocation of ancestors and orishas, divine forces. Elders raise their hands. They pour libations onto earth. They call upon lineage to witness the union. Love is not left undefended. It is covered in speech. The Yoruba believe that the tongue can build or destroy. A curse harms, a blessing fortifies. Because of this, couples are surrounded with intentional words at weddings. Prosperity is declared, fertility is invoked, protection is requested. The blessing does not simply celebrate affection, it guards destiny. In some communities, kola nuts are shared as a sign of hospitality and covenant, prayers occupying their breaking. The act binds families together, not only individuals. The elder's role is central. They have lived long enough to understand fragility. Their blessing acknowledges hardship while speaking endurance over the couple's future. Ancestral presence is woven into the ritual. The departed are believed to watch, to guide, to protect. Marriage does not begin from emptiness. It stands on inherited strength. Love is sanctified through invocation. When children are born, naming ceremonies include similar blessings. The child's path is spoken aloud. Character traits are proclaimed. The community affirms the life before it. Speech creates identity. In Yoruba cosmology, destiny, ayanmo, is chosen before birth. But it must be supported through right living and sacred words. Marriage blessings reinforce shared destiny between partners. Love becomes holy when it aligns with purpose. Even outside ceremony, daily blessings matter. Parents bless children before travel. Elders speak protection during illness. Words are shield. The sacred lies not in silence, but in articulation. To withhold blessing is to leave love vulnerable. To offer blessing is to wrap love in spiritual covering. Through rhythm, call and response, and communal affirmation, Yoruba wedding prayers transform union into covenant under watchful ancestral care. In this tradition, holiness is voiced. Love is sanctified not only by feeling, but by declared intention. What is spoken over a couple is believed to echo into generations. Story 4. Hearth Blessings in Sacred Home. In Norse tradition, love becomes holy at the hearth. Not through temple walls, not through distant priesthood, but through fire kept alive. In pre-Christian Scandinavia, the home was a center of sacred life. The hearth flame was more than warmth. It represented continuity, protection, and blessing. To establish a household was to establish a sacred space. When a couple married, they did not simply join hands, they joined fires. In some traditions, embers from the bride's family's hearth were carried to the new home. The flame symbolized lineage transferring into shared future. Love was not isolated from ancestry, it was continuation. The hearth was guarded spiritually by land spirits and household wights via tyr, subtle beings believed to protect family and dwelling. Offerings of bread, ale, or milk were left in gratitude. Love was protected through hospitality and respect. Blessing in Norse households often took the form of ritual toasts. During weddings, cups of mead were raised. The bride and groom drank to the gods, to ancestors, and to future children. Words were spoken, oaths were made. The hearth witnessed all. Marriage in Norse society was practical and communal, but ritual framed it as sacred alliance between families. The bride might be led across the threshold, symbolically entering the protection of the new hearth. Fire marked belonging. When storms raged outside, the flame remained steady within. The home became shield against chaos. In Icelandic folk tradition, even after Christian conversion, hearth blessing endured. Prayers were said over fire. Psalm verses were spoken to guard against misfortune. Sacredness shifted forward, but the hearth remained center. To tend the flame was to tend the marriage. If the fire died, it was relit carefully, sometimes from a neighbor's hearth, reinforcing community bonds. No household stood alone. Love was sustained through daily maintenance. Cooking, gathering, storytelling by firelight. The hearth held births and final vigils. It saw laughter and grief. Through it all, its warmth reminded the family of shared covenant. In Norse worldview, the sacred was woven into land and home. Love became holy when it created shelter, safety, and shared future. The blessing was not grand proclamation. It was continuity of flame. And so long as the fire burned, love endured. Hey everybody, welcome back in. Hope you enjoyed those 4 stories. Those were 4 beautiful stories rounding out the month of sacred bonds. These were the 4 stories of different ways that we show how we ask for blessings through our love and the importance of doing so. So with our blessings today, the theme of being love sanctified, our lesson is that love is holy. So love is holy on February 28th and every other day. But with our 4 stories, our daily thread is that love becomes holy when it is intentionally set apart, named and honored before something greater than ourselves. Across Christian benedictions, Shinto ancestor prayers, Yoruba blessing speech, and Norse hearth rituals, we see that sanctified love is not accidental. It is spoken over, remembered, protected, and tended. These traditions remind us that love is not only emotion, but responsibility woven into community and lineage. Holiness enters love when we choose to treat it as sacred ground rather than ordinary habit. To bless love is to recognize its power to shape generations beyond our own lifetime. What we honor with intention becomes consecrated in memory and action. So with our very first one, the benediction and the sacred union. So sacred unions in Christian tradition are the white weddings, right? So that's where we get a lot of those beliefs. I'm in the traditions with the white weddings of vowing ourselves under God, under the supreme being, under the one whose love is the one that we are vowing to replicate, right? Because it's through good and bad and through sickness and health and all of that. And this one is we are asking that the Lord bless us in our marriage in this sense with the faith and religion.
That was one thing I was actually talking about work the other day is to people that doing this podcast, I've actually started to learn a lot of stuff that I didn't know before. A lot of new stories that I've never heard. And then obviously just us digging into stuff for the book.
Different lessons and traditions and stuff too. Like seeing we're only in month 2, so you haven't been able to experience it as much, but you've seen some, like the Japanese, keeping that secret, right? It doesn't matter if it's your partner or not. If you told someone you were going to keep a secret, that's like essential that you hold it, even if it's from your partner. You know, we've seen that in others.
Yeah.
And some several of those stories of you need to trust me in not knowing everything. And so yeah, I'm excited for you to see more and more. I was just looking through next month's as we were taking our break, and I'm excited because I forgot what the whole theme of it was. It's going along kind of with what, I mean, now we're moving into a huge aspect of our book, right? So we're getting the timeline done. And now this is literally, we're going to probably be writing hand in hand with every one of these stories.
Wow.
Because it just goes with the pacing of our
That's fun.
book. So I'm excited for that too. I think that's why I've been in like the book kick lately. I'm like, that seems to be all I'm doing during the day because I've just been feeling it, I guess.
I mean, that just reminds me of the first book. That's exactly what it was.
Oh, yeah.
And the only time we would really conversate is when it was something to do with the book. It was purposeful, you know, it wasn't mundane. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Not that I don't love that because I do, but
When?
yeah.
Like over email, are you saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
To where it's nice to where like, hey, what do you think about this? Oh man, I can't wait to come home. I loved coming home to that. It was great.
Yeah, because I was like, we were getting to the point where we were reading a chapter a day and we were in the editing parts and
yeah, because we were reading the book.
And that one's the pilgrimage gonna be quite different from this one in the terms of there are some of these that aren't gonna be as uniform in the chapters.
Right.
All right, but I know you're a cute boy. Let's read the important note. For that one, the important note is that Christian benedictions reflect the belief that love is sanctified when it is intentionally dedicated before God. The blessing affirms that devotion participates in something eternal. In this tradition, love becomes holy when it is entrusted to sacred purpose. I think that's my biggest belief system behind marriage, is that it has nothing to do with like I'm now promising to be loyal, like now I'm promising to be in it. It's real when you devote it before God. God's a big part of it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that you have to have a big like ceremony or something, but to
But
intentionally
a
have the
ceremony to
act.
bring God into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I've never had God in my relationship as much as I have in the past than I have with you. Like in any sense of the word. Like, yeah, I said like grace before dinner with the family and stuff, but that was it, you know? And like we do it all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
I never really prayed with any of my exes, so
mm,
I mean one, but I didn't feel as comfortable with it. But yeah, that's a big part for me. The second one too, the second one we go into Japan, where it's all about getting the blessings from the ancestors and remembering that we're continuing a path. We're continuing our family trees, and now we're joining two separate family trees and honoring where we've come from. I really like this one of we didn't get here alone. We're not in this alone. Our love is unique to ourselves, you know, but the challenge is there are others that we can look to. And this important note is that Shinto ancestor practices sanctify love through continuity rather than dramatic intervention, continuing through our ancestors.
see, and that's what I really enjoy that aspect of it is it's while you were talking, that's one big thing I would like to start adding into like when we go to my parents Sundays when we do when I'm getting them out of their old ways of doing the prayer the same every time, and I'm kind of having doing that like but bringing that up and being like thank all of our ancestors around that table that brought us to that moment.
And that right there is a beautiful part of having a ceremony and inviting your family or going and traveling, like after you've been married, going and traveling around and seeing family, like if you're going on your way to your honeymoon or something, and showing them, hey, this is where we're at and getting their blessings from there too. Because it's not so much as, oh, I need my third cousin removed to say that it's okay that I'm with my partner,
Right.
even though they don't know either of us, even if it's like my grandparents. But it's just the sense of that respect of you are part of my family. Your story was important because without it, I wouldn't be here at all.
Yep.
Your story was important, and that's why you're here. They see you. So even if you are that third cousin removed, like
Yeah.
you hold a seat at our table. So there's that too. Sorry, I just really want to drink my hot chocolate, but it's too hot.
You know, maybe just woman up. It's not that bad after you burn everything off. Your cup has a bigger mouth than mine. It should be cooled off enough. I could take little sips.
I like mine at a certain temperature to fully enjoy it.
Yeah, mine is lukewarm, not hot.
Mine is lukewarm, dipped with silence. But the rest of it is that the bond between living and departed remains active and honored. In this tradition, love becomes holy when it is remembered with reverence and gratitude, just like we said. I think something that's been a big regret in my life, and I guess, yeah, just in big regret is that I wasn't closer to my grandparents and I didn't get to know either of my granddads, my grandpas. I didn't really know either of them very well. One I knew a lot more than the other, but still, by saying a lot, that's not a whole bunch. Meaning, like, I have a picture with them and a few. And yeah, I just see pictures of them and see their smiles and hear stories of how much they meant to the family. That's something that I definitely regret, and not knowing my grandmas more when they were younger, too. I think that's just something. And this one kind of tells us that we have these ceremonies for reasons. We have these celebrations for reasons, and we do gather together to help kind of bridge that gap. Yeah. Okay, the third one, the blessing prayer and the sacred speech. This is all about talking about the elder's role is central. So it's all about speaking endurance over the couple's future. So that same thing of, oh, I wish you well, or I wish you happiness, I wish you joy, I wish you abundance, healthy kids. These words, they do something. And when we gather and when we are the center, kind of like birthdays too, and we're the center and people are wishing you a prosperous year, you're taking that energy physically
Yeah.
with you into your next year. And
Yeah,
these
I've
are
never
the
really thought about it that way.
these are the things we take into our relationship.
Yeah. Wow. I
That's
guess
why
I've
it's
I've never
important.
thought about it that way at all. It's makes a lot of sense energetically now
That's
that I'm more into the energy stuff.
that's why I think it's more important to have an intimate wedding rather than a big wedding,
Yeah.
because you don't have to hear the words for that energy to be placed on your relationship. And speaking for myself, I don't really want anyone there that's anything less than like family, like those friends that feel like family, you know? I've been to some ceremonies, and I don't really like to go to a bunch of weddings or funerals, but I've been to some where there were people there that didn't even like the groom or the bride. And so they were kind of like
Why
catty, or
why would you go?
it was like the theme, it was a popular wedding of the year or something. And I just, for the sake of, yeah, you want to invite everybody, but you don't need to. We shouldn't feel obligated to invite everybody. It's why I would never want someone there that's talking ill about me or my spouse or my future.
Right?
I'd rather have 5 people there than 50.
Yeah. 100%.
And this has kind of reminded me of that. And it goes to tell you too that the Yoruba tradition, blessing is active spiritual force. Love becomes holy when it is intentionally spoken into protection and purpose. To be surrounded by people who see your purpose, you and your partners of value, and that are there to protect it too, right? A friend that I knew 10 years ago who doesn't know me, they don't care if my marriage makes it or not.
Right?
I mean, in genuine, they don't.
Yeah.
And it's kind
It's no skin off their back. I
of,
mean, I'm sure they're not wishing you
no,
ill, but
it is awkward to go, hey, I hope you're doing well when you're invited to such an intimate ceremony. And like I've been invited to certain ceremonies where I haven't gone
yeah.
because I wasn't close with the person at all. I knew who they were. I'd been involved in different groups and stuff with them, but I
Didn't know them on that level.
no, or I didn't. It's not like I don't like celebrating people. I often get them gifts. I just don't go to the thing
Yeah.
because it's like I see that you want to be
That's a
celebrated, and I do want to celebrate you, but
And sometimes that's all they're hoping for too, is someone to just be like, I see you. Here's something to celebrate you, but
yeah.
have your time.
But be with your group, because
Yeah.
I don't want you to feel obligated either to say, oh, Jane, thank you for coming to something that I just invited you to because I felt obligated to. But
Mhm.
then it's that weird exchange where we're only sitting here talking because we both felt obligated to be here, not because neither of us really. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy that I'm here. You're happy that I showed up, but would I have noticed otherwise? Those are the ones where I just don't think I should go.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm totally wrong. And some of those people may want me. When it's a surprise invitation, I didn't think I'd be invited, I definitely go.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's someone that I'm like, "Oh, interesting,
Yeah.
they would want me there." Because then I think they want me there for a reason.
Oh,
Someone that they would have had to think of me. I wasn't just on a generic roster where I should be thought of.
right.
Not that that's ever wrong though either.
Hmm.
Yeah, you know. But this one, yeah, I just really liked this because it reminds us that we can feel totally okay in smaller circles because the energy matters, the words matter. And to be in a small, small circle that's super supportive and protective of you, whether you can hear it or not, whether you're around or not, that's way more powerful than a bigger tribe who you have no idea how they act when you're not around. And they never actually share who they're really true to.
Hmm. I actually, I have a nurse that I work with, and she says that her and her husband and their friend group is a very, very small friend group. And it's very hard to get inside that friend group, the trust that they have. But they're able to share things together like, hey, I need help with this. No problem. Hey, we can go on vacation and hang out. But like the way it was explained is like, because we've had other friends in our friend group, but then they would just do or say something that was just not cool. And they're like, okay, see you, bye. It's once you're out too. And I respect that because why would I give you the chance to do something to me again when you've already shown that you're capable of doing that? I appreciate you saying that you won't. Cool. I appreciate that. But I'm just not going to give you the opportunity either. I'm going to help both of us.
I like having the mixed dynamic of like everyone's allowed to be who they are. But I used to be I feel like I've turned into more of an introvert with age, but also not. I used to be like, I want to hang out with people. I want to be in these big groups, and I still like those memories. I'm still fond of them, but I've just really liked being by myself, but then giving my all in those group meetings for like 2 hours. But I don't like to be around people for like 8 hours straight anymore.
Mm. You got spoiled being a hermit.
Well, yeah, and I also just like I'm a big person on like I like to try to fix the things that are bothering me or get it out of my life if I can't fix it.
Right.
And when people, I don't know, the more people you have, the more problems. And I just got tired of feeling like I was only around people that always came with problems but never wanted a solution.
Right.
Or they just never tried to do anything about it, but they were always complaining about it.
Complain about it, but not.
And then applaud me for doing something great because it helped with it, but they're still contributing to the problem. Like, oh, that's so good. Like, you did so good because it's been so hard. Like, why do you even need to mention that? Like, why not just live in the good?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to be reminded
Yeah.
that I'm exhausted all the time. And that's why I've kind of enjoyed being more by myself. But obviously, I like to go be around people too.
I think a big thing too, though, is you just really need a reset. You just needed to just really center yourself. And I think it's almost like you're in a hibernation state, is what it is right now. And your body's just hibernating because pretty soon, I don't think you're going to have the opportunity to be a hermit anymore. You're going to be too busy doing stuff. And it's just the universe being like, okay, you can rest for now. It's okay.
Yeah, but by busy stuff, you mean like working outside in the garden with just you and the dogs and the kitties?
I don't know what I'm meaning.
Yeah, I know you're probably right. I don't feel the desire anymore to constantly
To
be
be fake
surrounded
around.
by
Yep.
presence. Not
Yeah.
just like even being fake, but just being surrounded by something all the time. I just don't have the desire
Yeah.
to do it. And
That
so,
need for it's like
company.
the company and the acceptance. I do enjoy my own company.
Me too.
I really do. I have a friend, and I've never really done this, and I think I would have liked to have done this before, but now I really don't care to do it. But he would take himself out on dates, but just by himself, take himself out to a movie, dinner,
Yeah,
whatever.
I
And I was like, man, that's good. I was like, isn't that kind of weird? He's like, no, it's great. He's like, I like my own company. He's like, if I want to sit there and play on my phone the whole time, I will, and nobody's going to tell me I can't. And I'm like, I mean,
the movies and the restaurant, it it feels good. It changed my perspective. When you go to the movie theater by yourself, what I felt was I could go refill this popcorn thing 5 times and there's zero judgment. Like I can just go out and oh yeah, I can spend more money because it is just me. So, wow, okay, I get to go pick the movie I want. I can go relax. I can spread out across 3 chairs if I want to. I could fall asleep in the movie if I want.
I
And
wouldn't
then
be
when you go to
surprised
the
if you did.
restaurant, I like to take a book when I go to a restaurant by myself.
Mm,
I'm that type that likes to read.
interesting.
I've walked into a restaurant, and I've told you this before, but I've walked in to have my own lunch, and my dad's been there by himself having his own lunch, so I just join him,
Mm,
or vice versa. It's not like, oh, you're alone, you want to be so. It's just, oh, well, we're both here anyways,
yeah.
and we would enjoy each other's company,
Mm-hmm.
but we just didn't need it that day.
Yeah. But since it's there,
Yeah,
might as well.
we're on the same path anyway, so wow, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just those alignments, and then when you allow it to be, when you allow yourself to be in the flow, stuff like that does happen, and you'll start bumping into things where you're just like, "Oh, cool. Hey."
When those things happen too, we go out and sometimes we can go sit with people. Other times we just have a talk with them. And this Yoruba one kind of reminded me too when I just looked back down at the, intentionally speaking it.
Yeah.
That means when we see people in passing, intentionally speaking things. Well, haven't seen you in a long time. Hope you're doing well. That doesn't mean we have to have an hour conversation,
Right.
but being intentional when we say hi to people. It's kind of like I love watching people who are trying to be intentional, but they're trying to figure out who it is. And they're trying so hard that it's obvious. That's what I mean by trying hard. Because most people, they don't know who you are. They try to brush it off, acts like, cool, whatever, I've done that. But when you're really trying to figure out who it is, man, you make it obvious. Because I'll just be staring at someone like I know them. And I'll keep giving glances. And that's what people do. And I love when I see people do that and they get it. And you get that authentic reaction of how excited they actually are to recognize you and to see you.
Yeah.
Because they're always happy.
Yeah.
Because even if they aren't excited about you, they're happy that they remembered who they were trying to think of.
Mm.
So it's like when we do it, we naturally go, oh yeah. And then it's like a second engulfing of, because we think of our favorite memory or our
Yeah.
prominent memory of them.
Yes.
So it's like a double, really positive hit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like the endorphins you're probably getting, and the connection between the two of you,
well, yeah, because
like
it's
that energetic. Yeah.
it's like that forced spoken.
Yeah.
And so that energy of actual excitement is hitting
Yeah.
us head on. And I like that too. Excuse me. This story just made me think of that as well.
That's awesome.
And that feels good.
Yeah, I love that for you.
The Norse one having the fires and the Psalms being spoken as well, and taking the fire from one house to the other to bless the union. When I heard this, something I didn't think of until just re-looking at it is, wow, we couldn't do that very easily in today's day and age. With our ability to travel easier, how many of us are living close enough to our parents that both parties could carry that fire for that walk? And so this one isn't just telling us the importance of that, but that flame, it's continual. So it doesn't, if this is lost, if a piece of it is lost, our daily maintenance of stuff can continue. And things that use the fire, like staying warm, but cooking is a huge thing. And so if we maintain our love through our cooking, not just speaking into the food and everything, but that fire, there's a living thing helping as well. So there are two living beings coming together to create something.
Yeah.
And if they're both in that conscious awareness of that love and that warmth and what that fire is doing, how it's blessing us, right? Because it won't lighten it. I mean, if it's not there, it's not blessing us
Yeah.
for whatever reason. And we could say, oh, well, it's just because you don't have propane, you can't start a fire. You don't have yeah, that means it's still not blessing me. The circumstances aren't blessing me.
Right.
I could gather all this stuff and then maybe it rains. Okay, well, now the weather isn't blessing me. So,
Or it is for a different reason.
right, for just fire though.
Yes.
But the important note for this one is that love is sanctified through shared home and maintained flame. So when we do go home, and how on the holidays we do cook a lot of the time with our family, spend more time preparing things, gathering around the fire. And you think about Christmas. How many of us are baking or cooking with family? How many fires we light and we surround ourselves by? Thanksgiving. I mean, a lot of holidays where those are central things. It's because the fire. And it's cool to think that if everyone's fires are lit, and hey, we might be in Nevada and family might be over in Minnesota or across the oceans, and maybe we both have a fire going though. That's connecting us. It's that little veil that connects us, because when I look into it, you could be looking into it too. That fire is connecting all of us and seeing all of us. And so as we finish this long/shortest month of the year, February, we have the blessing, and our theme was love sanctified, and that love is holy. We don't need love from a ton of people. We don't need to be in love with a lot of people. Loving ourselves is foundational. Loving whatever we believe in, foundational, and that it is holy. We don't need to believe in a God or a divine purpose or anything special to think that there's something beautiful about love, and to think that love is something that can save lives. It is something that can warm homes and pass knowledge, and it is holy.
Yeah.
You don't need to believe in a God to think of something as holy. But our question today that we're going to think of as we end February, we get ready for a brand new month. Our question is, which love deserves honor? So which love in your life deserves honor? As we saw through all of these, the blessings through marriage, the blessings through moving homes, right? It's usually the woman moves into the man's home, like with that last story we saw. But there are lots of loves that were honored today. The love of the ancestor, the love of God, the love of your direct parents, the love of your spouse.
Right.
So this isn't asking, who do I love? This is asking, what love am I really needing to honor right now, intentionally? So that's what we're going to think about. Anyways, our daily task for today, the end of our month, is that we're going to bless ourselves aloud, naming the love that we carry and uphold. So we're actually going to bless ourselves and all the love that we carry and that we uphold. So not just I carry this love for this person, or I carry this love for me that someone else has, but I uphold it by doing this. And I am blessed because I have the ability to uphold it. And then we're going to walk away thinking that love becomes holy when it is honored with intention. So when we honor ourselves with intention, our love becomes holy as well. And suddenly it does feel good to be loved by myself, because my love is blessed. I'm not saying that we have the same ability to bless things as other beings or whatever, but
Right.
also kind of the point is that we love ourselves unconditionally. So that's all that I have for you guys today. And we will see you guys tomorrow for a brand new season 3. Whole new look, whole new vibe,
Yeah.
whole new space. All right.
Guys. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.